Oh, hey everyone. Now I've got a interesting document that we've been working on that I want to share with you guys. So basically, what it is it's a lead tracking and an inquiry tracker. Basically, any new inquiries that come into your business. So a lot of the businesses that we talk to and that we coach. They don't necessarily know exactly, like where their leads coming from, and find it hard to kind of find a system or a process for doing this. Maybe they're not, busy enough to warrant, a really expensive software, but, maybe it gets lost through spreadsheets, or, it's handwritten and it's lost and it's gone between different people. So we found a really good way that we collaborate on Google Docs because everything's live. But this could be, basically given to your, salespeople, or someone who manages, your sales inquiries, or even just yourself if you just want to sort of see how you go. Now, from a coach perspective, this is the sort of stuff that we like to see. We want to be able to know how many inquiries came in that month. How much money you closed, or how many deals you closed. How many are still outstanding, so that we can. Assist you in those particular areas. It could be a conversion sort of, area. We can work all of that out from this particular spreadsheet. The other thing that we've set up here is that you're able to track, where the inquiry is coming from. So that's incredibly important to find out, where your lead's coming from. You may or may not be answering the phone and asking these people, but it's an essential piece of information, because it definitely helps from a lead generation perspective, and even from a marketing perspective. So what I wanted to do was just take 5 or so minutes just to kind of go through and explain this spreadsheet, so that you guys can kind of get a bit of an idea. So I'm going to jump into it. So basically, we've got a tab for every month, and you could probably take this and just start working with it, straight away. Basically, we've got a summary here at the start. So this summary sheet, I'll just explain it. Everything here works on formulas. So I want you guys to be really careful. If you're a bit of an Excel whiz, then by all means go for it. If you're a little bit unsure, then just be a little bit careful. You can click on all the squares, that sort of thing, but you'll find that there's going to be formulas, etc. So I just want you guys to be a little bit careful. So basically, up the top here, we've got our success rate. So what this is going to do is going to track your conversion rate. So for every inquiry that's converted and confirmed, it's actually going to do a percentage of over how many inquiries you actually had. So say, for instance, if you had 50 inquiries and you converted 25 of them, or confirmed 25 of them, then obviously it's going to be sitting at 50%. So as an idea to know how you're going with your conversions, then you can just be looking across this top part here. Now, what's going to happen is, for every month, this information is going to feed into this spreadsheet. So basically, inquiries per month, number that are confirmed, number that aren't going ahead, or that they're not proceeding, and maybe ones that you could classify as, that they're waiting. You've also got a fair amount of here that are still inquiries that need to be followed up. Now, what we've also done is put a value amount on this as well. So the approximate spend, of that inquiry, the spend that wasn't going ahead, so you can see how much money you've missed out on, or you chose not to take, and also the number that's still sort of awaiting, or it's still in the inquiry mode. So this is really good for going, how much money's still left on the table that we could potentially chase down, perhaps on a quieter day, or look, when you're looking to prioritize your day. Now, down the bottom here, this is tracking our lead sources. So basically, if you wanted to set up a legend that, and you can go in and change these, and I'll show you how to, but basically, if you wanted to set up a legend that, lead source 1 was, say, Facebook, and lead source 2 might be LinkedIn, and lead source 3 might be, like a direct phone call. Lead source 4 could even be, a referral partner. You can set all of these up. So I've left a couple there just so it jogs people's memory. So we've got one set up for Google. So people said that they found you on Google. And also, like, if you were doing a client re-engagement strategy, like emailing out the database, any of those sorts of things, then you could use that here. Now, I'm just going to jump in and just show you sort of how it works. So basically, if we looked at January here, what we're going to do is say, for instance, the phone rings, or any person who is a genuine inquiry into your business, you would usually fill this form out. So you could do it while you're on the phone with them and capture some really important, crucial information. So say, for instance, we're just going to fill this out. So I'm going to put it in for the date that we're doing this. So sorry, it's the 13th of January, 2016. Now, what we've got here is you've either got the inquiry confirmed, or not going ahead, or awaiting deposit. So you just use the first letter. So for instance, if this was an inquiry, we would leave it at E, right? Now we're going to say that his name's Jeff. For instance, Jeff Smith, and he's from, let's just say, Nick Psaila International. We get his contact number, and this also is helping your office person or your salesperson to make sure we get all the information. We just fill in all these details. Now, we have a chat with Jeff, and he says to us that he is looking to buy something from us, right? And the value of it, for instance, like just initially, what you're talking, you can always change it later. But just as a guide, you sell $1,000 product, so he's basically going to buy one product. So what we're going to do is put in that it's an approximate spend of about $1,000. Now, say for instance, we said, "Oh, look, Jeff, how did you find out about us?" And he says, "Google." Okay, so what we're going to do is pop in Google into our lead source here. You can, if you want to, use these other columns that we've given you. So if you wanted to rate your lead out of 5, you might give Jeff a 3 out of 5, right? And if you wanted to allocate a sales rep, then you could do that as well. And this is a really good place as well to list any actions required, like, needs following up, inquired about whatever. You can put in whatever detail you want. And by the way, once you've got a copy of this, you can change any of these, if you want to, right? And we also had here, if you lost the lead for some reason, to get some feedback, because that's also really good too, because you may or may not be dealing with these new inquiries. So basically, say it didn't go ahead, you could say, was too expensive, found another product, used another competitor. Any of those sorts of things will all help. It's all data that's really, really relevant, right? What we'll do is we'll just do another one here, just to give you a bit of an idea on how it's going to work. So obviously these will be usually in date form. And what we'll do is say that this one was confirmed. It was $2,000. They came from, what I'm going to do is just put in lead source 1 into here. What we'll do is just put test. And we don't really have to fill out any more detail at this particular stage for me to show you. So what's going to happen is the data is going to collate down the bottom here. So you'll see here that we have the number of, this is the total value of the inquiry so far, so the 2,000 and the 1,000. And basically, as we've changed the letter, so for C for confirmed, it's actually filled it out into this spot here and said that $2,000 has been confirmed, while $1,000 is still sitting in inquiry mode. And you'll see here that the lead source also, there's one for, if we said that that was going to be Facebook, and also that we had one for Google as well. Okay, so this is the summary. This is really important, as that is what's feeding into this summary page here. So when we look here, what we're going to be doing is saying, how many inquiries did we have for that particular month, and how did they inquire? So basically what it's saying here is that we have $2,000 in spend. We have $1,000 that's still outstanding. And you'll see here we've actually got a running total. So there's $2,000 all up that has been confirmed with us, and the $1,000 for the year. Now you'll see down the bottom here that $1,000, or sorry, the $2,000 is sitting here in this lead source, and we've also got the Google one as well. So by the end of that particular month, you might have 20 that came from Facebook or your lead source 1, and you might have had 3 or 4 that came through Google. So what you can then do is, you can drill down a little bit further and say, okay, well, we had, say for instance, like, we had 20 lead sources that came from Facebook. We spent $1,000, on ads. So how much did that particular, advertising, cost us, and how much did we make out of it. So it's a really good way to actually drill down into it. So that's basically how it works. Now, I'll just give you a quick example of if you want to go and change items and change the lead source name just so it's easier. I would recommend probably if you want to, you can just stick to lead source one and maybe just create, a legend like this and just say that, that's Facebook. The other thing, if you're a bit of an Excel whiz, then you're more than happy to go in and change this. So basically, if I want to change lead source one, I can change it on the front page here. But that's just the summary. So you'll see here that we're going to have the 12 sheets for each particular month. So what we're going to have to do is go in and change this on each page. You can, if you want to change all of them on the first page and then just copy them and you can paste them on all the other pages just over the top. Okay, but the other thing that you have to do is, because this is a formula, you'll see here when we click in this square that you've got this formula, which is picking up all those with all lead source one. So what you would have to do is go in here and you would have to change this to Facebook like this. Okay, and then so that's changed the formula there. So what you have to do is now copy and paste that into every single sheet so that it picks up the right name. So you would change Facebook here, and you would also go in and you would change the formula that's written down here. You'll need to do that on every single sheet if you want to go through and change. So it's up to you. If it's too much work, just stick to the original plan. But if you want to sort of change it up, then you can. So yeah, this is a really good way, as I said before, to track your leads and inquiries. It's really, really powerful. It's not too complicated, and we would love to be able to see this when we're coaching you guys, to actually see how you're going. So this is something that you can implement if you're a small business, just for yourself and whoever else deals with inquiries, or if you're a bigger business. You might have a software that you're using already, but if you don't, then this is the sort of thing to really get started on how you're going. So I just want to give you guys a little example here. I'm just going to grab up one that we have set up for Hospitality Est. So just give me 1 second. I'm just going to drag this page over onto our screen. So just so that you guys get a bit of an idea. So I started doing some test ones here, but you'll see here for October, we were looking at a 38.64, and obviously these aren't correct numbers, but we were just mucking around with it to show you, but how the whole thing is actually tracking and amounting. So basically, we had for that particular month in October, we had $48,000 that was confirmed. 31,000 wasn't going ahead, and 25,000 was still inquiries. So you'll see how it's tracking there for the year. And then as we go down the page here, you'll see that 15 of our inquiries for that particular month came via Google, and 12 were with this. We've got previous function, which is basically referral, or a friend told them about our business. So that's how we sort of track it. So I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an example of once you start filling out the data, all of these reference errors will go away, and it'll start updating. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you want a copy of this, email me at ask@nickpsaila.com, and in the subject line say you want the lead and inquiry tracker Excel document, and I will send you that document. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and it wasn't too complicated, and we'll talk to you soon.